Well, how's everybody doing? Today's a little bit of a milestone for me. Not much I'm going to celebrate. I don't celebrate anything anyhow. Every day's just the same as the next. So it's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit of a milestone. Today it's 30 years since the milk check went into my name. Let me say back in February 1st, 1991. And a little bit of a backstory how that came to is, well, we'll start out back in the 70s. We shipped milk in cans. There's a local milk plant probably about 5 miles from here. It was a Carnation plant. And I'm not exactly sure what they bottled back there or canned back that time. Carnation was known for evaporated milk, but there's other products they did. Not exactly sure what they did down here because I was kind of young at that time. But back in it must have been the late 70s, they closed. And we had to find another place to send milk. So we started sending milk to Fairview Swiss Cheese in Fredonia, Pennsylvania. I think they were probably because I think they were the only other place that took canned milk at the time. And then around 1980 or 81, we put a bulk tank in. They still picked up the milk there for the next several years. And then in December of 1990, they sent a letter saying that they were eliminating this route. Now, at the time, they were picking us up every 3 days. They were running over 200 miles round trip and picking up less than 10,000 pounds of milk. So it wasn't really worth it for them to run. What had happened is a lot of guys started upgrading to go to grade A because you get paid more money for grade A milk over grade B. So a lot of guys are switching and upgrading. And they said they had enough guys. Like I say, there's several plants right in that area. So there's a lot of farms around. They said they had enough guys willing to switch over within 25 miles of the plant. So they were eliminating this route. So we had to find someplace else to ship. Well, at this time, my dad was already semi-retired. He was collecting Social Security already. But he was starting to have some health issues. And now that I think back on it, I think he was suffering some depression too, because I think he knew what the problems were and just didn't want to deal with it. But he wasn't doing nothing. So around January, it was like 26th, 27th, somewhere in that area, I actually called up one of the local milk haulers. And he got me in touch with the milk inspector for Milk Marketing Incorporated at the time. And they came out and, there's a couple things we had to update to be able to go to grade A that we had to do right then. And then there's several things he gave us some time to upgrade. So that's what we did. And my dad, like I say, since he was collecting Social Security, he agreed said just went ahead and put the milk check in my name. And so that's, like I say, how I started doing it. Or milking, well, like I said, I was already milking cows. Like I said, I was doing most of the work at this time anyhow with the health issues my dad was having. And, but like I say, that's when the milk check went into my name. And like I say, back then you had several options. You had MMI, you had Dairy Lee, there's Farmers Union, Deans. And so like I say, we just ended up with MMI. Now over the years, like I say, in 1998, MMI and I don't know how many other places there were, merged and formed Dairy Farmers of America, and that's where I currently send milk to now. And like I say, in the early 2000s, Dairy Lee had marketing agreements with DFA, and eventually DFA bought them out, or they got absorbed in, or whatever. Dairy Lead became part of Dairy Farmers of America. And just, I think it was just last year that Dean's became part of Dairy Farmers of America. And part of that was because Dean's was going bankrupt, and DFA was selling milk to them. I guess they owed DFA a lot of money for milk that they sold them, never got paid for. So I don't know how it all worked out, but eventually DFA bought out most of their assets and stuff, and the Dean's farms are now part of Dairy Farmers of America. So that's just the way it goes. And then, like I said, my dad, he did get diagnosed with cancer in November of '92, and he died in May of '93. And like I said, I've pretty much been doing everything since. You know, like I said, I've been doing this way over 40 years. Yeah, I've been helping my dad since, growing up. You know, helped him more and more as I got older, and so that's kind of how things worked out. Now I said whether I can make it another 10 or 15 years is waiting to be seen. I don't know, like I said, it's way tough this year, and there's some things I'm hoping will happen here yet. Maybe I can get out this year yet, but I don't know. Like I say, we got that piece of work there in the White House now. I guess, like I say, give $15 an hour minimum wage. I'll just go flip burgers at Burger King or something. I'll make way more money, won't I? We can even make arrangements for you to be there too, which you probably will be if I end up selling cows. Who's going to want to own you? Don't snort at me. Don't snort. What do you want? Oh, you Jerseys are just too damn curious. But yeah, like I said, I just share that a little bit, and like I said, it's a milestone here. And like I said, there ain't much to celebrate right now, but it is what it is. So, you want, you cross-eyed little freak. Yeah, and I still send milk to a cheese plant. Right now, like I said, with DFA, they market milk wherever they can get money for it, price for it. They really, so, I mean, I've had milk go into Sargento's up in Buffalo. I've had milk go to Dunkirk, to an ice cream plant. I think there's been milk that went to Cleveland, somewhere. But I'd say a good 95% of my milk has gone to Farmer's Cheese in New Wilmington, where they make mozzarella, and I don't know if they make any other cheeses there or not. I think they do, of some sort. Would you leave me alone? I don't want to talk to you anymore. But so that's one good thing about with these jerseys. You do get paid a higher price because they have a higher component milk. Going for cheese, that's what they want. What do you want? Yeah, I know. You want me to go mix you your feed. You're hungry. You look like you're starving. But I guess, like I say, that's just a little bit of a background of how things worked out here and what's going on. So, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you later.